James,
Hi.
welcome back.
Yeah, thank you.
This is not your first meetup, right?
Dubai was the first, and now it's looking forward for the second one. Very excited.
Very excited to have you back. And I know we've had a couple conversations in between.
Yeah.
And you've shared with me some really amazing statistics. You built your own trading strategy.
Yeah.
Just through what you've learned. And I'm curious to know, what is one thing you've learned at Chart Champions that you use in your trading that's really been helpful?
Yeah, everything basically. But the one thing that I really like is the structure, like really the consistency. Everything is structured. Everything is like steps, like a step by step, building up your strategy, but also building up your day and building up your trade. And I think this is very important to be consistent and to have a good system and to have a good structure. This is why really I loved when started to watch back in the days YouTube video of Daniel, because it was really the levels and then this approach and then this approach, which make it very, very consistent.
And it's the consistency aspect, right? So
Yes.
in trading, there's so many distractions.
Yes.
And one thing that I've been really proud of and amazed by is your ability to be consistent with your journaling, with your statistics and your backtesting.
Yeah.
How has that come into play for you as a trader? And when did you start? And how has that process helped make you a better trader?
So I started journaling and backtesting basically on the advice of Igor. And say, at some point, I really wanted to learn trading, and I stick to what the coach says. So Igor said, "Oh, you have to use a journal." So I use a journal. You have to backtest all of your trades, which I did, and then I used also the journal as um, a backtest for my strategy. Basically, I've done all the strategy. I've tried all the strategies that Chart Champion, and there are many,
Yeah.
can offer, and I picked up the ones I liked, and I stick to the one who had the best return. I'm using also the journal as an accountability tool. Yeah, because it's nice to have good figures, but also the accountability to see what went well and what not so well, and how can this be improved.
And James, I know you've got some really amazing statistics and you have a good track record. You use an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah.
What causes you to use the Excel spreadsheet rather than using like an online tracker for your journaling?
Because it's simpler for me. I tailored Igor's file basically, so to make it a little bit simpler for my use, and it's just something that I have throughout the day, always open on my desk. Every time I do a trade, I journal. Every time I close a trade, I journal. So it's consistent throughout the day.
You shared with me that you were a business owner.
Yeah.
You have your own business. How does it work balancing the trading life with the business life? You said before, if the business is busy, you're working more on that. If the business isn't so busy, then you're trading more. What has that sort of balance of life taught you about trading, and how has it made you a better trader?
One thing we talk about focus. One thing I've learned from having these two, let's say, work stream of work,
Yeah.
is that you need to give 100% basically. You can't do both. This is what I've learned last year, and I'm still learning this year. You can't do both, because if you are trading at 100%. You need to be in the zone, focused. And for the business, it doesn't want unfocused people, so you need to focus. This is why this year, unfortunately, I did half trading and half business.
Hey, if the business is in demand, that's guaranteed. And then trading is a little bit, maybe not so guaranteed. But I know that you have built a very good strategy. You have very low drawdown. You've had months with like 1 or 2 losses,
Yeah.
which is really, really exceptional.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about your trading strategy? Don't have to give away the secret sauce, but
Yeah.
what are some tools that you really like to use?
So I'm using the strategy taught by Chart Champion, the Chart Champion scoping strategy.
Okay.
Basically, Daniel changed my life the 14th of August, 2019.
Remember the day? Wow.
Contender number 4. This is the contender number 4, and he exposed this strategy. And then I build up, taking things from Igor, taking things from the coaches, Igor and Severin. I mix things to my liking, and this is the strategy I'm using. So only on crypto. It's a strategy that doesn't work that well on ES or NQ, for example.
Sure.
Because you need kind of volatility to have a good strategy working. But yeah, it's a strategy that I'm using, a strategy that I used even today
Yeah.
to do some training today, and until it's working, I keep going.
And I know you mentioned that you mostly trade crypto.
I'm trading four assets basically. So Solana, Cardano, Link, and SHIB.
Okay.
SHIB is very volatile, so it has to be traded on a quieter days.
Sure.
I love Link. I think Link is one of the simplest. But I've invested in Solana, and I'm trading in Solana as well. So I love ADA. So yeah, these are the four assets I'm trading.
So I know when we last talked and we had a interview previously last year, you talked to me about how important your mindset is. What is your mindset in trading, and how do you know when maybe it's not the right time to trade?
So the mindset I'm using is really using only the percentage, because the money value can be something very daunting, or very something that can be difficult to manage. For example, I had the same thing in 2023 when I was trading for a couple of dollars to now it's a little bit more. But I've got the same expectation, which is a 1% a day for 15 days per month, and this gives me my 15% per month. And I read the book, The Psychology of Money,
Great book.
where there's one chapter on it which stick for me for life, hopefully, is to know when enough is enough. So it's always like different devil. When you trade, you've got different devil. You've got the greedy devil and the ego devil. The ego one is not switching off or placing your stop loss or closing a trade. And your greedy one is, oh, I want more, I want more, I want more. So I go back to my principle and say, okay, 1% is enough per day. And the rest is just bonus if it's in the good side, obviously.
Yes, and obviously one of the things I loved about that book was it talked about the power of compounding.
Yeah.
And even 1% a day in trading over, let's say, a period of a year is multiple hundreds of percents
Yeah.
increase in account value.
Yeah.
And if you multiply that out by, 10, 15, 20 years, and
Yeah.
you let the entire value compound, the mathematics on that is exponential. So you're looking at figures that you couldn't have even imagined of.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. Well, last question for you. If you were to leave our members with one piece of advice, something that you wish you knew before you started trading, what would that be?
So basically is to have a structure in place, structure your day, having being in the zone, but also having the rules in place, and then stick to the rules. And this compounded with the mindset we just talk about, but really having the structure and the system in place to have consistency and repeatability. This is important.
I totally agree. And James, you're one of the most impressive traders that I've met. You're one of my favorite people at Shark Champions. And I just want to say I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy to see you here. And I can't wait to spend some more time together this week.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Appreciate it.